Sunday, 30th of August 2015. This is Fatima Sharika and you are listening to the paper highlights from today's newspapers on AthavanEnglish.com. First, let's look at the paper highlights from Sunday Observer. ITN probed for non-recovery of rupees 115 million from MR. Former chairman of Independent Television Network Anura Siriwardana will appear before the Commission of Inquiry into serious acts of fraud, corruption and abuse of power, state resources and privileges tomorrow to respond to allegations of financial manipulation. Commission Secretary Leslie De Silva said Siriwardana will appear before the COI to record his evidence in connection with allegations of large-scale monetary loss to the state-owned television station. According to public complaints received by the COI, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa has not paid rupees 115 million due to the institution for his election advertisements telecast during the 2015 presidential election campaign. Another highlight from Sunday Observer. US-Sri Lanka resolution after release of HR's chief report. The US-Sri Lanka collaborative resolution will be crafted after the release of the UN Human Rights High Commissioner's report on accountability issues in Sri Lanka in September. A spokesperson at the Ministry of External Affairs said President Maithripala Sirisena will be given a copy of High Commissioner's report sometime next month before it's tabled at the 30th session of the UN Human Rights Council. The report will incorporate the Sri Lanka government's inputs before it's tabled. Another highlight from Sunday Observer. SLFP proposes modalities for working with UNP. The Central Committee of Sri Lanka Freedom Party, which met on Friday, has appointed a 5-member committee to formulate a mechanism to ensure a working environment for the SLFP and the United National Party in a national government to be formed soon after the swearing in of the new cabinet next week. The committee comprising SB Disanayaka, Dumida Disanayaka, Dr. Sarath Amunugama, Mahinda Samarasinghe and Ranjit Siambalapitia will devise the means of facilitating the national government and provide for mechanisms to avoid confrontation and collusion between the two parties, a SLFP senior told the Sunday Observer yesterday. More highlights from Sunday Observer. SLFP 64 on Wednesday celebrations in Polonnaruwa. The 64th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party will be celebrated in Polonnaruwa on September 2nd under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena, the leader of the SLFP. Former SLFP leaders including former Presidents Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga and Mahinda Rajapaksa have been invited to attend the ceremony, while UPF party leaders, heads of local government bodies and provincial council members have also been invited. An Ashirwada Puja to invoke blessings on the party leaders and members will be held at the ancient Somawati temple at 7 am on September 2nd. Another highlight from Sunday Observer. TNA rejects domestic inquiry. The Tamil National Alliance will neither support nor accept a domestic inquiry on war crimes because such an inquiry is doomed to fail in the backdrop of historical failures of local inquiries on such matters, spokesman of the TNA Suresh Premachandran said yesterday, responding to queries on the US recently announced change of stance over an inquiry into alleged war crimes during the final phase of war. He said the report of the United Nations Human Rights Council is yet to be published and it would be inappropriate to comment before its release. Now let's move to the paper highlights from Ceylon today. Call for fresh probe on Kadirgamar murder. LTTE may have got orders from elsewhere. Ajita Kadirgamar. In a dramatic turn of events after a decade of the reported LTTE killing of former Foreign Minister Lakshman Kadirgamar, daughter Ajita and family members are to urge the authorities to initiate a fresh probe into the murder. The former Foreign Minister was assassinated reportedly by LTTE gunmen on 12th August 2005. His daughter Ajita Kadirgamar, in an exclusive interview with Ceylon Today, said that though belated, the family was now planning to urge the new government to launch a comprehensive probe into her father's killing that took place a decade ago. Another highlight from Ceylon Today. Yasara says Tajuddin's death may be murder. Yasara Abenayaka, publicly accused of her alleged involvement in the suspicious death of national Ruggerit Wasim Tajuddin, breaking her silence, stated to the media that she believes there was foul play behind the Ruggerit's death but completely denied ever being acquainted with him. From what was released to the media, that's all I know. The way that he was injured, it doesn't really look like an accident. I don't know. My personal opinion is anyone who sees the way that he had been injured, that it had not happened through an accident. Maybe it was a murder. I guess after they have done examining the body, everything will come to light. Yasara, who had been a journalist for the past 10 years at the Carlton Sports Network and a counsel in Australia, had to give up her career because of the death of the Ruggerit she had been falsely accused of being involved with. Ceylon Today interviewed her to learn her side of the story. Now let's move to the paper highlights from the Sunday Times. SLFP rejects TNA's claim for opposition leader post. Main Tamil alliance rocked by breakaway group over national list. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party last night rejected a call by the Tamil National Alliance for recognition as the main opposition party in parliament. The move was aimed at making Rajavarothram Sambandhan as leader of the opposition. The opposition leader's post should be given to the party which has the highest number of members and are not supporting the national government, Acting General Secretary Duminda Dissanayake told the Sunday Times. He said the person holding that office will be announced when Parliament meets on Tuesday. Another highlight from the Sunday Times: 45 in cabinet, 55 state and deputy ministers. The number of cabinet ministers in the National Unity Government to be set up with the UNFGG and the SLFP as stakeholders is likely to be restricted to 45, with 55 more in non-cabinet ranks. A motion will be moved in Parliament by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe on Thursday under the provisions of the 19th Amendment to increase the numbers. Another highlight from the Sunday Times: only CP MP to go it alone. The sole Communist Party member elected to Parliament will remain as an independent member, party leader DEW Gunasekara said yesterday. The CP contesting under the UPFA returned only one member, Chandrasri Gajendra from the Mathura district. Mr. Gunasekara said his party saw the UPFA as being non-functional now and therefore the CP member would function independently. We will support some of the government proposals wherever it's necessary and at the same time oppose whenever it's required, he said. Another highlight from the Sunday Times: Omande barriers removed, open ride to north. The road barriers at the security checkpoint at Omande in Vaunia were removed yesterday, bringing to an end the 2-decade process of registering vehicles entering the north, officials said. Military spokesperson Jainath Jayavira told the Sunday Times that they had stopped the process of registering vehicles entering the north. He said steps had, however, been taken by the military to upgrade existing security measures, considering the prevailing peaceful atmosphere in the country. Another highlight from the Sunday Times: SLFP UPFA get tougher bite by party decision or face action. Members of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party will be required to abide party decisions or will face disciplinary action, the party's acting secretary Duminda Dissanayake declared yesterday. More highlights from the Sunday Times: UNHRC, US Lanka adopt collaborative approach. Sri Lanka has agreed with the United States to adopt a collaborative approach with regard to a resolution at the UN Human Rights Council sessions next month, but there is still no text. Work on a draft document is likely to start in mid-September after the Office of the High Commissioner of Human Rights releases its investigative report on allegations of war crimes and other human rights abuses. The US has been the main co-sponsor of all resolutions since 2012 and it will float the first draft. We brought you the paper highlights from today's newspapers. Thank you for listening to the paper highlights on AthavanEnglish.com. Have a nice day.